What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. For just a second, I want to put the Yu-Gi-Oh! Down and offer some Papa John life advice. Last year, we saw ransomware attacks on both meat and gas, and infrastructure attacks could be a thing that happens. We're tasting a little bit of the Cold War today, and seeing that things are escalating, I would have up to 2 weeks of on-hand, non-perishable food that does not rely on clean water or electricity. If you're a Texan, you probably already do this for tornado season or hurricane season unless you're YOLOing it, and I feel like you shouldn't just rush out and go grab it off the shelf, but during your weekly grocery trip, maybe grab 2 to 8 cans of something your family would already be consuming. For me on lazy days, that's Campbell's Chunky or Wolf Brand chili. Not sponsored unless you want to. I do see Campbell's Chunky with Hungry Box ads out there, you know. But I also picked up a couple canned vegetables, things I wouldn't usually do, to give a little bit of variety to that diet, just in case something does go down in those means. It's not unheard of. It happened last year during an already weakened supply chain, and I would just think about having that on hand. A lot of the cans right now are good through 2024 that I was looking at in the grocery store, and again, I wouldn't just rush out and grab a ton, especially if you're on a budget. I would think about just getting a couple more each grocery trip and not panicking too hard on that, but also looking out for yourself. That being said, let's go ahead and get into today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Market Watch with the early bird specials on the 10 of the Pharaoh Gods at $160 versus the upped MSRP with code WhatsGood5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly. It seems like a good deal, but I really can't endorse this as it currently stands. I do hope there are special versions of Slifer, Obelisk, and Ra, which are bolded in the description. Maybe Starlight Rare. They need to do something like that just for a start to save these 10s, as it's Yawn of Majesty, Blazing Dumpster Fire, Lightning Underdrive, and then Burst of Destiny was pretty good, but doesn't 1-for-1 save these 10s. And if they don't treat these like the 2020 10s, where they put everything everywhere else, like double reprint, Apollosa, etc., there's not going to be solid value in here if they're plucking out, say, Pot of Prosperity, like Lightning Storm, or Droplet Goes Elsewhere, Access Code. There were 3 major cards missing last year, and because of that, even with a Chase Import card that's still atop the set that really flopped on its face also versus pre-sales, you have 2 cards above MSRP of the 10s and decent value inside, yet the cases are still available around that $160 mark to this point. And now, Crossout Designator long-term maybe could help the 10s. Other cards, of course, could increase value over time, while others are slated for reprint slots, according to the OCG structure deck, like Ice Dragon's Prison should be in the Alba Strike structure deck. But just looking through, yeah, it's up to MSRP per 10. They're going to be probably selling more expensive than last year. They need to do so much work. So again, I wouldn't go as hard as last year. Last year is already proving you did have a point to sell these for $300 if you got them in hand fast versus the waves. I would just consider, though, not going as hard till this point, till Konami puts some proof in the pudding, which may not happen for a very long time. Sometimes those surprise reveals are at the end. If you're gambling, man, up to you, not a financial advisor channel. I don't know your bankroll or your ability, but personally for now, I'm not loving it, I'm not liking it, and in no good faith can endorse it until Konami proves something about these 10 models that don't have promos. Yeah, we had a discussion on that. And looking at Slifer, Obelisk, and Ra, the versions need to be nice. These are 1 per case versions, and King's Copium. You guys know that I have King Copium's cases, that I really like King's Court overall, even still to this day. But the Pharaoh rares, they fell flat on their face. Even the secret rare misprints have just gone down and down over time. Now, these are something that could improve later as collections go up, but they just look so terrible for what they are. They're a worse Millennium rare. So if Konami doesn't pull out all the stops and make it impressive, these up to MSRP 10s, they're gonna fly. They're gonna just flop on their face unless they do something really amazing with the and more past just structure deck cards, which, by the way, hot take, the structure deck cards were a very good thing. I want to pull this up real quick for you guys. Look at Zombies Horde. Look at this. Zombies Horde is crazy. And yeah, there we go. I know, quick editing done cheap. This structure deck is now 69 not so nice dollars, and you have so many $10 cards between Banshee, Ballardroach has been up there, Glow Up Bloom has actually cooled off a little, but just, you know, the reprints, they're not that bad to have, and they're upgrades versus the structure decks. I would rather see that than unlimited wave structure decks and having the singles available and also let the sealed evolve. I think it's actually a really smart move by Konami, but the and more for the 2022 tins needs to do some heavy lifting, and Konami needs to learn from last year's Megatins. Now, another little point out here that I think if you're on my channel already, you probably have a smarter aspect to the Yu-Gi-Oh market, but so many new people are in from Master Duel, and this is a newer feature. Direct by TCG being the first thing that you see causes problems sometimes to uneducated buyers. Exiton Knight is a $3 first edition card for its ultra rare, and people are spending $25. That's 3 different people just because they're the lowest TCG Direct seller. They're getting ripped off hard because of a featured section, and this guy is making so much more. That's 8 times as much per copy just because he's featured up here. So again, scroll down a little, look through the prices. People are getting ripped off and paying double what a first edition OG for Time Wizard formats would go for of a piece of history card, just because they are like, oh yeah, that's the price. Okay, I really need that for my deck. So if you're coming in from Master Duel, scroll down and look through the actual listings instead of just buying the first price you see on the screen. Next up, Ghost Ogre is seeing a lot more play. It's good against Adventure, it's good against Sword Soul, it has options against Flunder. The card's really doing some heavy lifting, and with that, the ultimate rare is on buyout mode, the secret rare is on buyout mode, and a lot of the other versions are lower quantities and going up in price. Now, you still have plenty of cheaper versions, around $4 to $5. You might want to get yours sooner than later using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying if you're playing during this current format. But I know a lot of people are just like, well, I'll go grind the Master Duel until it's not Adventure Token, Scythe Lock, everything, but that you're going to be waiting a while. We don't even know when the next no sooner than is, so good luck with that one. Other people are getting good and teching versus the format and learning to adapt and overcome. Ash Blossom is about $30 plus for every single copy. It's getting crazy out there for Ash, and when we look at it, there's one seller under before it's 32 for the Dupo version. That's the last one over here, and my advice is this: Konami, please reprint it. You're stuck paying for staples if you want access to them, and this has been in a structure deck and a guaranteed $40 MSRP product in Dual Overload. But when it comes to our Dual Devastator, all these dual packs happen, but in Dual Devastator it was a guaranteed card, but people forget because it was on sale and clearance so much that product is actually $40, and so now it's actually doing heavy lifting versus what that used to be. Thank you, Tier Zero, for all those sales the other year that I shouted out. Boral Savage Dragon, we pointed this one out a couple times, and it continues to rise, and I think it's going to keep doing that until it sees a reprint. It's such a good inboard piece, and Adventure Token with the Synchro engine is really seeming to take off. Piri Reyes map is starting to go up. I really like this card overall and its potential and what it does, and people are catching on to that and starting to get it. It's one of the penny stonks I mentioned out of Brothers of Legend, and I think it's a pretty good card with a lot of potential, but sometimes player brain doesn't work so well with market brain. In this case, it did work out a little bit. Dragon Maid, welcome! Dragon Maid's going up in price on Market Watch. Name a more iconic duo. It has spiked and is up there in price a little bit towards $9 now instead of $5. Crystal Counter. Looking at old Duelist Pack Ultras, I always thought these were grossly undervalued versus sealed product that has spiked so much, and its quote-unquote spike is still very affordable if you're collecting. $9 to $10 for the unlims. Where are the first, though? Just under 20. So if you're a Crystal Beast duelist, Crystal Beast collecting gets a little bit harder, but not out of the stratosphere for this card. Flying Elephant was super short printed in Battles of Legend Relentless Revenge, around 2-ish per case if I recall, and it's a funny win con, and people went and bought this one out probably because of that. It's a memory from the show. It's actually when Pegasus comes and interrupts Bandit Keith and then he gets owned by a little kid. This card is a piece of history in that, and being an alter win con. And then Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon. It is holding and going up even further versus the buyout we covered before. 6.9, not so nice. And copies quickly go up above the 70s to 75 with sales, even at 77, even 105. Gross. Desperation buys and overpaying. And a lot of those 75s mix in again. Don't just look at the first price, scroll down a little, look through the sellers, actually take in feedback, and then decide who you want to buy from. And finally, it is end of the month in Master Duel, so be sure to claim all of your gem rewards if you are maxing your dailies. If you don't know how to max your dailies, you don't claim the lesser rewards, and you leave the 3 ranked duel rewards that are 50, 30, and 50, and then you're getting 150 gems a day. So, if you didn't already know that, now you know you can max your dailies. Hopefully that stays the same in the next season. And you should be claiming all rewards today because it resets tomorrow. Thanks for watching today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Market Watch. I do not know when I'll be doing another one. Hopefully I'll still have Internet Tuesday to be able to. I have some uploads from streams, and maybe we'll be filming more tonight that I'll be putting up. But I'm finally getting my house's siding worked on. They're going to cut through the internet cables. Then I have the internet person scheduled for Friday. So you know how that goes, construction and all that. Hopefully I'll see you guys Friday night on a live stream, and hopefully I'll be uploading through Tuesday night and also doing a bonus stream Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed all the conversations, and stay safe out there. I really hope you are if you're a viewer.